1.
We might have them. We have 2 4-wheelers out here. If the fire department or Coast Guard can see our spotlight, but go ahead. We have 2 4-wheelers out here next to a hole in the ice. We're trying to get you a color. If those are the 4-wheelers or not, we're not seeing any people yet. But if that Coast Guard unit, if you can communicate with them, tell them to come to our spotlight, they should be able to get here. It's all ice.
Okay, copy.
Central Triple One, there is 2 people. It looks like they might be trying to get one of the 4-wheelers started or working on it. In Central Triple One, it looks like they're both going to start heading in. So I don't know if they were lost or just out here fishing. They were surrounding a hole, but they're on the move now.
Central to Trooper 1.
Good.
Sounds like the Coast Guard made contact with them 2 subjects on the ATV, and they are going to be the missing subject.
The Canadian side of the Ambassador Bridge is still closed tonight. According to Canada Border Services, it has been closed since Monday night because of exactly what you're looking at here. And communities near the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit and in Windsor, Ontario, they're pushing for this trucker blockade on the Canadian side of the bridge to end. Windsor police tweeted out a warning, though, asking people just avoid this area. They say those who do go that way expect some delays. Police are also concerned because they say residents keep calling 911 and it's inundating their services. They're asking people to stop doing that they are aware the bridge is closed. And the city there in Windsor is asking for federal assistance. The Department of Homeland Security is warning U.S. cities that they could start seeing similar blockades to what we've seen in Windsor happening all across Canada. The so-called Freedom Convoy has been disrupting the peace in Canada's capital city for weeks. The disruptions are also now cutting off trade for a 4th day here at the Detroit-Windsor border. They've forced Ford, General Motors, and other car companies to shut down assembly lines and scale back on their production. Windsor, Ontario's mayor says it's like a foot on the throat of all Canadians.
That individuals on site are trespassing on municipal property and, if need be, will be removed to allow for the safe and efficient movement of goods across the border.
Now, that is something he didn't say yesterday, stepping back on that, moving people away from that location. So we'll see what happens in the coming days. The DHS bulletin says a U.S. copycat convoy could start this weekend and disrupt traffic around the Super Bowl. It says a convoy may be aiming to reach Washington in time for the State of the Union address in March. France and Belgium have now banned blockades to head off similar potential disruptions in their countries. Michigan State Police Bay Region tweeted out this afternoon to avoid the area surrounding the Blue Water Bridge in Port Huron. They say there are lengthy delays on both the U.S. and the Canadian sides. This is the entry point to Canada, though, that the Canada Border Services has been advising all week for commercial traffic to use. Today, Governor Gretchen Whitmer stopped short of telling the Canadian government how to resolve the Ambassador Bridge shutdown, but did say something must be done.
The fact of the matter is, this is compromising and jeopardizing many jobs in the state of Michigan. We know that the autos are already starting to slow down. Some are closed or anticipate being closed within days. This needs to be resolved. So I have been on the horn with our Canadian ambassador, with the White House, with our congressional delegation, with some of the premiers in Canada. I mean, I am imploring them to get this resolved.
Mid-Michigan Now reached out to the Flint assembly plant today to see if the border blockade was impacting production. Now, spokesperson Jack Crawley tells us Flint assembly is running as scheduled. And we also have an update tonight from the Lansing Delta Township GM plant. They have production resuming on first shift in the morning. Yesterday and today, they had shifts that canceled, they say, because of what's happening at the Ambassador Bridge. Governor Whitmer had this to say about the impact it's having on Michigan's auto industry.
We're pulling out all the stops. I know that General Motors and Ford are looking at alternative routes for getting some supplies in, but there's nothing that can even it out.
Locally, the Ambassador Bridge closure and the Freedom Trucking Convoy, it's causing some supply chain issues. And with an already problematic supply chain backup, economists are worried about how this could continue to impact supply of certain products. Mid-Michigan Now's Courtney Bennett is joining us in studio. And Courtney, you talked to someone about this.
Yeah, that's right. So right now, according to the U.S. Department of Transportation on the freight management and operations, the Ambassador Bridge is the single busiest international land border crossing in North America. And now with it being shut down, there is concern with how this will continue to impact manufacturers in the United States. Tim Nash, he's a professor of economics at Northwood University and the McNair Center. He says new cars and used cars prices have significantly increased over the course of the year. Now with this closure and possible delays of supplies getting to automotive factories, there's some concern we could even possibly see shipping across the river.
It is important to note that there are some large parts producers in Ontario, and I doubt we're going to be shipping many parts by barge across the Detroit River, but that could happen. It'll be really interesting to see if this lasts very long. You may have more barge traffic.
Nash says because of the border between Windsor and Michigan is essential for the Chrysler plant and the Ford plant to getting parts. Coming up at 6 p.m. on Mid-Michigan Now, I talked to a local trucking company in Flint. We tell you what they are seeing when it comes to this bridge closure. In the studio, Courtney Bennett, Mid-Michigan Now.
Michigan isn't the only spot along the border seeing issues. New York was also seeing traffic backups. Traffic delays along the Buffalo-New York-Canada border began around 8 last night. Reports of up to a 2-hour delay for traffic going into Canada at the Peace Bridge there. Similar backups were reported in the Lewiston on Queenstown Bridge, that's in Niagara County, around the same time. By midnight, the delay was closer to 30 minutes, and by 3 a.m., minimal backups were reported. The traveler's advisory was canceled by 9:30 in the morning. The backup with tractor trailers across western New York is happening because of the backup at the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit, because these trucks are now needing to find alternate routes.